It's a beautiful day here today in Fethiye, and it's about 24 degrees. And today we're going down the south coast of Turkey to a place where they grow tons and tons of bananas. We're going to Alanya. So we're in Alanya, one of the most popular summer holiday destinations in Turkey, with millions of people coming here every summer. Situated on the south coast, about 85 miles east of Antalya, and only about 70 miles from Anamurburnu, which is the most southerly point in Turkey, which makes Alanya one of the hottest places in Turkey in the summertime, but also one of the warmest places in the wintertime. The town is dominated by the huge castle complex on the top of the peninsula here, which is also a citadel, and it overlooks the whole city with beaches on both sides of the peninsula, and the Kızıl Kule, which is the Red Tower. And next to that is a fantastic shipyard from the 13th century. So let's have a quick look around this popular city. So on one side of the castle is Cleopatra Beach, and on this side it's called Kekabat, apparently. Both beaches are fine sand and beautiful, and of course at this time of the year there's no sunbeds on them, but there are a few people sunbathing, and it's lovely. It's 23 degrees here today, absolutely gorgeous. In fact, I should have my shorts on. And of course the beach is lined with lovely bars like this one. Kekabat Beach is miles long and lined with hotels and guest houses. Reminds me of Miami. I think this is the longest boulevard I've actually driven down in Turkey. Yeah, and it's beautiful. Beautifully lined with palm trees and hotels, yeah. Promenade here with the cycle track is 9.5 miles long. That's 15 kilometers. You're like a little bird in a cage, aren't you? But Cleopatra Beach is equally as lovely, and we spent many evenings there watching the sunset. This beach is almost 2 miles of fine sand, which is about 3 kilometers. And a few of the hotels there go right onto the beach, like the Cook's Club. Of course, Alanya is great for shopping, and it has all the well-known high street shops and more. Let's have a look. Oh, you could knit one of those, lovey. Nice. What are you doing, rearranging the shop?
They've put them in a way that you actually have to play the root. It's like playing Rubik's Cube. To get to the one that you need.
And it's great to get a makeover while you're on holiday too. And of course, you can't get better bargains than in the market, and there's several markets in Alanya at different times of the week. This is the Ober market, which is on a Monday. Guys just told me that this particular market is actually 2 kilometers long, so I've already been walking for 20 minutes, so I think I better turn around and go back. Cevizli sucuk. Ne güzel.
Merhabalar.
Kolay gelsin.
Teşekkür ederim.
Ne güzel. Oo, sağ ol.
Al bakalım, sen güzel reklam yap my friend. Harika.
Çok tatlı onlar ya.
Evet.
Ha, süper.
Merhaba.
Başka ne var?
Karadut.
Karadut değil mi? Heh, işte karadut. He's got karadut. That's what we call mulberries. Mulberries, yeah. And he's got bardem, which is fresh almonds. Teşekkürler.
Teşekkürler arkadaş.
Hey, görüşürüz. You can buy absolutely anything here. Some things are bargain prices. Crocs for €5. That's about £4. Look at that, nice summer dress. €10, about £9. Yeşil olan şortlar ne kadar? 700 mi? Tamam. And some things seem a little expensive. I'm pretty sure in the summertime this market's packed. But you can always get some refreshments at one of the little bars nearby, which are also very popular with the expats. So let's have a quick look at the important and historical parts of this city. Alanya is dominated and well known for its castle and its Kızılkule, which is the Red Tower, which was a defence tower put here for the port in the 13th century. These steps are very big. You ought to have steps up to the steps. There's a few displays in here on the different floors, but I think it's the architecture that is more impressive. This Red Tower was completed in 1226, that's almost 800 years old, and it's 33 metres high, that's 108 feet. It was built as an octagon shape with 8 sides, and it's 39 metres wide. And there was a bit of strange artwork which actually looked like a paraglider had crashed. It's the red bricks, of course, that give it its name. It was commissioned by the Anatolian Seljuk Sultan Alaaddin Keykubat, who actually brought the architect Ebu Ali Reha from Aleppo in Syria to finish the building. It was built to protect the port and the Tersane, or the shipyard, which dates back to 1221. And getting to the shipyard is like an obstacle course. And inside this boatyard is really interesting, and you can see why it's covered up, because it's really cool in here. Amazing to think how old this is. And all of this and the castle on the top of the peninsula are all beautifully lit at night. One thing I did like here is they let me use the camera anywhere, and I even set the tripod up a couple of times. So one of the most visited places here, which is at the end of Cleopatra Beach, is Damlataş Caves.
And one thing you notice is the humidity. It's like being in a jungle.
Have you been to lots of jungles then? Really can't appreciate how many millions of years it takes for these stalactites and stalagmites to form. And some of these are massive.
You won't want any of these dropping on your head.
Damlataş means dripping stone, so you can see where it gets its name from. The cave is at one end of Cleopatra's Beach, which is sometimes called Damlatash Beach. It is quite different to Kekabat Beach, with parks and some sport facilities, along with lovely water features which are spectacular at night. There's also popular beach bars on this beach, like Oko's Beach Club. And in the back street behind, there's several unusual restaurants. Kolay gelsin. And unusual pubs like the Irish pub, which serves draft Guinness. Just a short walk away from the cave is a small archaeological museum. It's not the most impressive museum, but there are some interesting artifacts here, especially the coins and this beautiful little statue. About half an hour's drive from the centre is another cave. Dim Marasa, or cave, is up the mountains at the back of Alanya, and there's a few interesting things to see in that area. And you pass the Aladdin Kekabet University on the way, which has over 14,000 students and 570 academic staff. 50 of them are professors. Up into the mountains and the hillsides, you'll see these great big white shapes everywhere. They're actually greenhouses for bananas, and they grow huge amounts of bananas here in Alanya. But the bananas do grow quite well outside here too, and you can see that they're covered up in blue bags to help them ripen. Almost all the bananas that are grown in Turkey are grown here in Alanya. If you're driving yourself, the road up is winding and not all asphalt, and it can be a bit scary in places. It's up quite a steep slope from the car park, with quite a few steps as well. But there are some stunning views from the pathway. You could say it's breathtaking. They don't take a museum card here, and it's 240 lira per person. This spectacular cave is huge. It's got to be the biggest cave I've ever been in, but it's not actually very well lit, and there are lots of steps and walkways, but it takes you more than 300 meters under the ground. Some of the stalactites and stalagmites here are huge, the biggest I've ever seen. It's actually much darker than it looks on the video because I had to push my camera sensor to the limits to get this video brightness. Constant temperature in here, so it must be cool in the summer. If you're not very able or you've got poor eyesight, it's definitely not suitable. The view from the cave overlooks the Dimchaya, which is a small river, which would be a lovely place for a picnic. But unfortunately, it's being commercialised and not in a good way. I don't know how they can advertise it as a natural picnic when you look at what they've actually done, making platforms for people to sit on and parking areas, and to be honest, it's a touristic disaster for me. Around this area there are many more beauty spots, but most are more accessible in the summertime, like Sapadere Canyon and the waterfall, and there's rafting not that far away at Kuprula Canyon. Of course, you really can't come to Alanya without visiting the castle. And there's more than one way to get there, and there's also more than one part to it. The easiest way to the northern part of the castle and citadel is on the teleferic, which costs about £7 each for a return ticket. Oh, it's a bit shaky, isn't it?
I think everybody does.
What? You get a bird's eye view of Cleopatra Beach on the way. But it doesn't take you right to the castle, and there's about 200 metres of steep steps at the top. You made it. So this part of the castle is an actual citadel, so there are houses here and people living here, and of course you can get cars up here as well. I don't know what road they use to get a car up here, and it's a lot busier than the other side. And there's the Süleymaniye Mosque here, which was originally built in the 13th century but was rebuilt in the 16th century by Suleiman the Magnificent. And there's a few shops, coffee bars and a restaurant up here. It's a lovely view, isn't it? The southern part of the castle you can drive up to or get a taxi, and it's a museum, and there's a payment to go in and for the car park if you've got a car. And it's the highest point of the peninsula and looks down on the northern part of the castle and the mosque. And there are the remains of a palace here, which was built in the 13th century. This castle is massive. The walls go round for miles and miles, and don't think about walking up here unless you're really fit, because it took us about 15 minutes in the car. Wow. And don't miss this beautiful little old church. More like a chapel, actually. Sometimes it's so peaceful in here. I'm not sure it would be this quiet in the summertime. And from the top of this castle, you get the most fantastic view of Alanya. Gotta be the best view. You can see Cleopatra Beach clearly, and the other beach on the other side. There is another important ancient ruin here, which they've been uncovering for years, and now it's open to the public. Welcome to the ancient ruins of Sidra. This is an incredible archaeological site and fairly new. And they're still digging here. It was opened last year, 2024, but they've done a lot more to it since then, and the digging is continuing. So who knows what else they're going to find here. One of the best preserved houses in any city is always the Ataturk Müzesi or Ataturk Museum, and this one is no exception. Most of these museums don't have any memorabilia, or not much memorabilia, of Ataturk himself, but they do give you an idea as to the furniture and decor of these buildings at that time in the 1930s. And I think the architecture of these buildings is important to see too. So what about the nightlife? Well, the marina area with its lovely water features is very busy in the summertime with its well-known bar street and restaurants. The bars at this time of the year are all closed up, but many of the restaurants stay open all year round. We tried a few of the restaurants out all over the city here. Every night we found something different in different areas of the city. From vegetarian dishes to Italian spaghetti and pizzas. Not forgetting the cake and pastry shops.
So we're saving calories by sharing.
Now if we have another one. And what I do like here is the kitchen is open, so you can actually see what they're cooking and what they're doing, which is great. One thing that I notice here is in the toilets. You sit down and then the lights go off and you have to keep doing a little dance to keep the light on.
My chair feels as if it's heating up. It's yours. Are they heated seats?
No, you must have a hot bum.
Something's on fire.
And our favourite was probably the Lost restaurant for its atmosphere, and it had pretty good food as well. It was so good we went there for lunch as well. And I have got an enormous pizza. This is the barbecue pizza with extra onion.
I've got roasted sea bass and it's just delicious. Really delicious.
At this time of year, a lot of the hotels in this area are doing real good deals. And we're staying at the Numa Port Hotel, which is right near the marina, not far from the Red Tower. And it's about £50 a night, which we didn't think is too bad.
The rooms have nice decor. They have everything you need, such as a mini bar, a kettle, an air conditioning unit. The bathrooms are modern, and they have a nice little balcony that you can sit outside and relax.
And the price included breakfast. It's a lovely breakfast, isn't it?
Absolutely spot on. I'd stay here all day.
The staff were really helpful and there was plenty of choice of things for breakfast, including a couple of Turkish things you don't often see, like sucuk. Sucuk is a traditional Turkish sausage, and normally at the hotels, especially the all-inclusive hotels, they have lots of different salamis, but they don't have sucuk because it's so expensive and it's so good. But it's nice to see it here. And also what they've got here, which is interesting, is menemen. Menemen nasıl yapıyorsunuz?
bunu bibere kavurduktan sonra yağ ile beraber ardından domatesi ekliyoruz. Domates güzelce karıştıktan sonra yumurtayı ekliyoruz. Baharatı, tuz, pul biber. Özellikle tuz ve pul biber lezzet katıyor. O şekilde efendim.
Tamam, teşekkürler.
Rica ederim, arkadaşsın.
There are so many hotels here, and stretching all the way down the beaches, both beaches, and of course, like I've mentioned before, some of the hotels, the five-star hotels, can be as far as 30 kilometers away. So do look at a map and make sure, if you want to be nearer to Alanya itself, the old town, that your hotel's not too far away. Alanya has become a multicultural city with around 30,000 foreigners having residency here from over 100 nationalities. That's close to 20% of the total population here. And the local council, or Belediye here, are in tune with the foreign residents, encouraging them to participate in council meetings now for over 20 years. I met up with the more recent committee members who call themselves the Yeni Alanyalılar, or what we would call the new people of Alanya. And they're a very positive group. Together they promote the city with international relations, and they showed me their calendar for this year, which includes many art, music and sport festivals and international competitions. So Alanya is possibly the most modern and forward-thinking city in Turkey. So how do you get here? Well, there's two airports. You can go to Gazi Pasha, which is what is regarded as Alanya Airport, which is about half an hour's drive away. Or you can go to Antalya Airport, which is about 2 hours drive from here, from Alanya. So that's it from sunny Alanya.
Don't forget to like,
Subscribe.
and hit that notification bell so you don't miss where we go next.
Thanks for watching.